There comes a moment in every person's life when they look around and quietly ask themselves, is this really all there is? It isn't a question born from weakness. It is born from possibility. It appears in the silence after another ordinary day, in the gap between where you are and where you dream of being, and in the restless feeling that refuses to let you settle for a life that is smaller than the one you know you are capable of creating. The truth is that getting what you want in life is not about luck, talent, perfect timing, or knowing the right people. Those things may open a few doors, but they can never build the life you truly desire. What builds that life is a decision so powerful that it changes the way you see yourself forever. The moment you stop waiting for permission, stop asking the world if you are good enough, stop believing that someone else is coming to rescue you, everything begins to change. Because the greatest prison is not the one built from walls, it is the one built from excuses. Think about it. How many dreams have disappeared because someone believed they were too young, too old, too poor, too inexperienced, too late, or simply not enough? How many incredible ideas never became reality because fear convinced their owners to remain comfortable? Comfort has a strange way of disguising itself as safety, but comfort rarely leads to greatness. Growth has never lived inside the familiar. Every extraordinary achievement began with someone who was willing to step into uncertainty while everyone else stayed behind calculating the risks. The difference between people who admire success and people who achieve it is not intelligence. It is courage. Courage to begin before they feel ready. Courage to continue when nobody is watching. Courage to keep believing after disappointment, failure, rejection, and doubt have all taken their turn trying to convince them to quit. If you truly want something, you must first become the kind of person who deserves to hold it. Too many people chase results while ignoring the transformation required to earn them. They want confidence before taking action, yet confidence is created by action. They want certainty before making a decision, yet certainty is the reward for commitment. They want opportunities before developing the skills that opportunities demand. Life does not usually work that way. Life asks you to invest first and receive later. It asks you to plant before you harvest, to sacrifice before you celebrate, to believe before you can see, and that is difficult because the human mind is wired to seek immediate rewards, but the most meaningful victories always belong to those who can delay gratification in exchange for something greater. Imagine standing at the foot of a mountain. Looking at the peak can feel overwhelming. Your mind immediately calculates the distance, the obstacles, the exhaustion, and the possibility of failure. But no mountain has ever been climbed in a single step. It is climbed one deliberate step after another. The people who eventually stand at the summit are not always stronger than everyone else. They are simply the ones who refuse to stop climbing. They understood something that most people never do. Consistency beats intensity. Small actions repeated every day become unstoppable forces over time. A single page read every day becomes a library of knowledge. A single workout repeated consistently becomes strength. One difficult conversation creates healthier relationships. One brave decision changes an entire future. Success rarely arrives with fireworks. More often, it quietly enters through the back door disguised as ordinary discipline. There will be days when nobody applauds you. Days when progress feels invisible. Days when the voice inside your head tells you that none of your effort matters. Those are the moments that define everything, because anyone can stay committed when life is easy. Character is revealed when life becomes difficult. The question is never whether obstacles will appear. They will. The real question is whether your reason for moving forward is stronger than your reason for giving up. Every meaningful journey eventually reaches a point where motivation disappears. That is why relying on motivation alone is dangerous. Motivation is temporary. Purpose endures. When your actions become connected to something larger than comfort, larger than convenience, larger than your fear of failure, quitting becomes much harder. Suddenly, every setback becomes part of the process instead of proof that you should stop. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every mistake becomes education. Every challenge becomes preparation for responsibilities you are not yet ready to carry. The life you want is already demanding a stronger version of you. The question is whether you are willing to become that person. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Stop measuring your worth by other people's timelines. The world is full of distractions designed to convince you that you are behind, but your race has never belonged to anyone else. You have your own path, your own pace, your own battles, and your own purpose. The only comparison that truly matters is between the person you were yesterday and the person you choose to become today. Every sunrise offers another opportunity to move one step closer to your vision. Every choice either builds your future or steals it. And one day, sooner than you think, you will look back and realize that the life you once prayed for was created not by one giant breakthrough, but by thousands of small decisions to keep moving forward, even when it was hard, even when nobody believed in you, and even when you had every reason to quit. That is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. That is how dreams become reality. That is how impossible slowly becomes inevitable. Every choice is writing your tomorrow, whether you realize it or not. The life you wake up to a year from now is being shaped by the decisions you make today, not by the dreams you entertain, not by the plans you keep in your notebook, and certainly not by the excuses you repeat to yourself. Every morning you are handed a blank page, and before the sun sets, you have written another chapter of your future. The remarkable thing is that life does not ask whether your choices are big or small. It simply accepts them, records them, and quietly turns them into consequences. The decision to wake up when the alarm rings instead of pressing snooze, the decision to learn instead of scrolling endlessly, the decision to forgive instead of carrying bitterness, the decision to take one more step when quitting feels easier. These moments seem insignificant while they are happening, but together they become the foundation of the life you eventually call your own. Too many people spend years wishing for a different future while making the same choices every single day. They hope tomorrow will somehow arrive carrying different results, yet tomorrow is simply today repeated. If you want a different destination, you must choose a different direction. You cannot expect a new life while following old habits. You cannot build extraordinary results with ordinary commitment. The future does not suddenly appear one morning. It is assembled piece by piece through every decision you make when no one is watching. The world celebrates success when it becomes visible, but success is created long before anyone notices it. It is created in the quiet hours when discipline overcomes distraction, when integrity defeats temptation, when consistency refuses to surrender to comfort. The greatest opportunities often arrive disguised as ordinary choices, and because they do not look dramatic, most people overlook them. They wait for one defining moment that will change everything, not realizing that life is rarely transformed by a single event. It is transformed by hundreds of small decisions made with extraordinary commitment. Imagine standing at a crossroads every single day. One path is easy, familiar, and comfortable. The other is uncertain, demanding, and filled with challenges. The easy path offers immediate relief, but often steals your future one shortcut at a time. The difficult path demands effort today, but rewards you with freedom tomorrow. The tragedy is that comfort always speaks first. It whispers that you can start next week, that one missed opportunity does not matter, that one more excuse will not make a difference. Yet comfort never tells you the full story. It never tells you that every delay becomes a habit, every habit becomes a lifestyle, and every lifestyle becomes your destiny. Success is not determined by what you do once when inspiration strikes. It is determined by what you repeatedly choose when inspiration disappears. There will be mornings when you feel tired, evenings when you feel discouraged, and seasons when your progress feels invisible. Those are the moments that matter most because they reveal whether your commitment depends on your emotions or your values. Anyone can move forward when the road is smooth. Character is built when the road becomes steep. Strength is discovered when weakness tries to convince you to stop. Every difficult decision you make today is preparing you for responsibilities that your current version is not yet ready to carry. Every challenge is asking the same question: who are you becoming? Because that is the question life is always asking. It is not only interested in what you achieve, it is interested in who you become while pursuing it. There are people who reach the top of the mountain only to discover they lost themselves on the climb. There are others who never reach the destination they imagined, but become stronger, wiser, kinder, and more courageous than they ever believed possible. The greatest victory is not collecting achievements. It is becoming a person capable of creating them again and again. Too often we underestimate the power of one decision because we cannot immediately see its impact. Plant a seed today, and tomorrow the ground looks exactly the same. Plant another, and nothing appears to change. Continue planting, continue watering, continue believing, and eventually the soil breaks open with life. The harvest always arrives later than the work. That is why so many people quit too early. They mistake silence for failure. They confuse slow progress with no progress. But the most powerful transformations happen beneath the surface long before they become visible. The same is true for your character, your confidence, your knowledge, and your dreams. Every book you read expands your thinking. Every lesson you learn strengthens your judgment. Every promise you keep builds trust in yourself. Every time you choose courage over fear, you become slightly different than you were yesterday. And over time, those slight differences become extraordinary results. Think about the person you hope to become. Picture the confidence, the wisdom, the peace, the success, the relationships, and the purpose you dream of experiencing. Now ask yourself a simple question. Are today's choices leading that person into existence, or are they slowly moving you away from them? Because your future self is living with the consequences of every decision you make today. One version of you will someday thank you for refusing to quit. Another version will wonder why you settled when you were capable of so much more. Every decision is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every action is shaping your identity. You do not become disciplined by talking about discipline. You become disciplined by choosing discipline when convenience offers an easier path. You do not become confident by waiting for confidence to appear. You become confident by taking action before certainty arrives. You do not become successful because one day everything finally goes your way. You become successful because you refuse to allow temporary setbacks to define permanent possibilities. Life will always present uncertainty. It will always include disappointment, rejection, and unexpected obstacles. But within every challenge remains one thing that no circumstance can take from you: the power to choose your response. You may not control every opportunity that comes your way, but you always control the attitude, effort, and integrity you bring to the moment. And that is where your greatest power has always been. Every sunrise places another pen in your hand. Every conversation, every habit, every sacrifice, every act of courage, every moment of patience, every lesson learned from failure becomes another sentence in the story of your life. Long before the world reads the final chapter, you are writing it one decision at a time, one ordinary moment at a time, one courageous choice at a time, because every choice is writing your tomorrow.